Welcome, everyone. Today we're taking a deep dive into the political leadership of Trinidad and Tobago, looking specifically at the period since independence in 1962. We're going to try and get a handle on what defines the TNT political elite. We'll focus on, let's say, three core things: their academic backgrounds, which are pretty amazing, the stability of their party system, and how long some individuals managed to stay in power.
It's really important to understand right from the start that those high academic credentials weren't just, nice to haves. Especially in the early days, post-colonial days, having highly educated leaders it was crucial for establishing national legitimacy. It gave the new nation weight.
Serious intellectual weight, it sounds like. The founders really set a high bar.
They absolutely did. I mean, think about Dr. Eric Withers. Everyone knows him as the father of the nation, founder of the PNM, but he had D.Phil in history from Oxford. And his thesis, that became Capitalism and Slavery, a truly world-changing book. He gave TNT instant intellectual standing. And his main rival, Dr. Rudranath Keppel-Deo from the DLP, also incredibly brilliant, a PhD in mathematical physics. So yeah, serious brain power at the top.
It's interesting, though, isn't it, that the person who took over from Williams, Mr. George Chambers, he kind of bucked that trend.
He did. More of a practical administrator, highly competent apparently, but his education was more general, a correspondence course, I believe, a real contrast.
But that focus on qualifications didn't disappear, did it? It seems like it just shifted.
Exactly. It's specialized. So you move from these broad intellectuals to subject matter experts. Look at Dr. Keith Rowley, the current PM. His background, he's a volcanologist, a PhD in geochemistry and geology.
Which sounds specific, but for a country dealing with natural resources, energy, land use, that's actually very relevant expertise, isn't it?
Highly relevant. And then you have figures like Mr. Cole Mimbert, a senior guy, holds, 5 master's degrees?
Yeah, in things like maritime civil engineering, construction law, oil and gas law. That really speaks to the complexity of governing a modern resource-based economy.
It does. And this continuous line of highly qualified people, it builds up a lot of institutional memory. But, does that also feed into the party system dynamics?
You mean the sort of fixed nature of it, this enduring dualism?
Right. You've got the PNM, which has been this constant presence. And then on the other side, the opposition seems to constantly fragment and reform. DLP, then NAR, now the UNC.
That NAR moment was significant, though. 1986, A&R Robinson leading that multiracial coalition.
Huge victory. Broke the PNM's 30-year hold on power. It showed that crossing those typical political lines was possible, at least temporarily.
Temporarily being the key word. The coalition didn't last long, did it?
No, it fractured. Which kind of highlights how strong those underlying divisions are and how the system tends to snap back to that two-party rivalry.
And that rivalry can get intense. Like the 2001 election, an 18-18 tie between PNM and UNC. Unprecedented.
Exactly. It created a real constitutional headache and just showed how locked in that two-way battle often is. Zero-sum, almost.
And maybe that intense back and forth explains the other thing we wanted to look at, the sheer longevity of some political careers there.
Oh, definitely. You see figures who just rotate through the top jobs for decades. Think about Mr. Basdio Panday or Mr. Patrick Manning. Both served multiple times as prime minister, but also as leader of the opposition when they were out of power. Decades at the very top level of politics.
It creates this small circle of experienced players.
It does. And that includes historic firsts, too, like Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesar. She's the first woman to have held the posts of Prime Minister, Attorney General, and Leader of the Opposition. And as of the 2025 election results, she's currently the PM again. That really cements her place as one of these incredibly durable figures.
So wrapping this up for you, the listener, what we see in Trinidad and Tobago's political story is this powerful dynamic between the PNM-UNC rivalry and this consistent feature of having highly qualified, often specialized leaders. It seems to provide stability, a lot of institutional memory, having these experienced, educated elites in charge.
But it does leave you in the question, doesn't it? If you have power concentrated within this relatively small, very experienced, long-serving group, sure, you get stability. But what's the trade-off? Does that very entrenchment, that cycle of elite longevity, make it incredibly hard for genuinely new voices, or maybe third parties with fresh ideas, to ever really break through and gain traction? What does that mean for the future?